Sweater me now. Gotta give God bonus points for trying.
Thank you for your patience, Vance.
Yep.
So, you've enrolled in that certificate for, have you?
No, I went to the TAFE to inquire about it, SA TAFE yesterday. Right? I also went to Brain SA and because I need help in doing all this. Right? I'm with Ferris Care, but they haven't returned phone calls for 2 weeks. And I could have been doing this for like 2 or 3 years, but I haven't been able to get there because my back was broken by Royal Adelaide Hospital. and they injected me with drugs, put me on an interim treatment order, and then gave me a phone, and I called Lifeline saying, help me, that broke my back. So they locked me in jail for lying. They had the evidence I was innocent within 6 weeks. I mean, they were supposed to x-ray you before they charge you, but they didn't. They held me in jail for 6 months and told me I had arthritis. I've been refused any medical treatment for the last 4 years. Right? Up until 6 weeks ago.
So it seems the processing officers stated you are, from their assessment, medically qualified. It's just because you're not currently undertaking the course.
But no, but it's to look for work as well as courses, right? You can't just walk into a certificate 4 in legal services. You have to do
in that case, we would just need to refer you to a disability employment service.
Like what? You mean like NDIS that I've been trying to get on for the last 6 weeks because I had to complain to the minister about it.
Mobility packaging. I'm talking about the employment services that are affiliated with us. We're not affiliated with the NDIS. So generally eligibility for the mobility allowance. I'll just bring up what I was reading.
What you're reading's wrong. I've already read all the laws and legislations. I've done all the tasks. I am out there actually looking to actually go back and study law, which I've been trying to do for 18 months since I was last legally obtained at Queen Elizabeth Mental Hospital for 3 weeks and had everything I owned stolen by the police. After I beat them in court, where they just didn't even bother showing up for the trial. Right?
Satisfying the travel test is the stages seems to be...
Oh, do you want the receipts for the taxis, do you? I've got them.
Yeah, so you can be in gainful employment, vocational training, voluntary work for 32 hours or more on a 4-week basis, but you already have to be in the thing going, or we can refer you to a disability employment service, and part of the job plan they do there... Mate,
what it does, look back a bit further on your records. I used to work for PDAC and NDIS, right, in Western Australia. I'm Aboriginal. I used to do this for people, right? Help them deal with centerlink bullshit, right? And this is it. I am trying to look for it. I have got a brain injury because of a negligent neurosurgeon. Do you really think I want to go back and study law? Right? I'm retired. My government superannuation has stolen over $10 million off me. I proved that their insurer lied at the Royal Commission, but I'm on the phone to you because I'm broke ass. Because they stole money and there is no one to prosecute it. My bank has stolen money off me. It's been with Africa for 4.5 months. I've got a letter from ASIC saying they do not charge financial institutions with crimes. I've had over $500,000 stolen off me in the last 4 years alone, and I cannot catch taxis. I cannot walk properly because I haven't had physio and I haven't had doctor's treatment, right? How do you expect me to get around and get all this information when people like Ferris Care and Brain SA and every single department that is supposed to be human services don't do what they're paid to do?
So, again, it's something that we need to fulfill before we can pay that. You're free to appeal the decision to reject, but they're going to point back to the fact that...
Mate, if there was a decision to reject, I would have got it in writing. I haven't got it in writing. Okay, and you can check my MyGov account because it's not there, it's not in writing, so it hasn't been rejected, right? You guys just do this all the time. You bully, you terrorise people. You tell them it's rejected and you can't do this and you can't do that till this is done, that's done, right? But it's all a lie because you haven't put it in writing. When you put it in writing and explain the exact documents that I need, right, I'll provide them. But I got told the only document I needed last Thursday, and the person that helped me fill out the mobility allowance form, because you need a degree in computer science to navigate the disability MyGov account, right, which I couldn't do back in 2017, in 13th of July, on my birthday in 2017, because I wasn't on medication. Now I'm on medication now, and I've lodged it. They said you only need one more form. So I spent my food money, caught a taxi, and went to the doctor's, got it filled out, lodged it, and now you're saying you need more documentation? Why wasn't it you need this form and other documentation? Right? You drag all this out, you abuse the most disabled, poorest people in Australia, while politicians in South Australia claim $200,000 extra on this COVID thing? Yeah?
So if you really want the rejection letter, I can arrange for that to be sent.
Well,
but as it goes forward,
mate, by law you're supposed to send it out first.
those forms, and we need them to be provided.
Sorry?
We need you either to enroll in the certificate for.
I can't enrol in the certificate for without aid. Right? Without aid. I don't have a computer because the police crashed it because I gathered so much evidence on them. That's why my back was broken. I gathered evidence on them being corrupt. And they stole my son and they murdered 2 of my children and they covered it up and I proved it. Right? Now, I have done everything humanly possible. I have begged every different system there is. I lived on the streets for 2 months in my car because all these people that say they are out there to help you and get paid to help you don't help you. Right?
So, again, this mobility allowance claim is not going to go forward without that prerequisite field. You can appeal it.
It says whether I am searching for. I am searching for. Shut the fuck up, right? And listen, right? Do not.
If you keep using that language, I'm going to have to terminate the call.
I have a brain injury. I cannot control that language. And if you terminate it, you are breaching the 1992 Disability Discrimination Act, and that word is actually in the Oxford Dictionary, which has been ruled in the Supreme Court as being legal Australian language. So please do not dictate to me, right? You try to overtalk me, right? You're trying to overtalk me again. Your legislation states I need to be looking for work or studies, right? I have contacted Melbourne University because the South Australian University here do not have a good enough law team, right? Okay, I need to learn to lodge documents again because I've got a brain injury and I've been tortured and terrorised by the Australian government for the last 15 years. Painfully for the last 4. Right? And I have evidence backing up everything I've said. You've got copies of it. Right? Okay, now I am actively looking for going back to TAFE. Right? But because I got expelled 12 years ago for proving the whole world has been being taught the wrong mathematics, right, and I got bashed and drugged, and I still do over that, even though Microsoft changed their calculators 5 years ago to the mathematics that they say I'm delusional about, okay, I need this allowance. I'm entitled to this allowance, but yet you keep up throwing up hurdles, but you give politicians $200 because their donations went down for this COVID, right? You give New Start or Job Seeker now $1,500 a fortnight. I get $860. How am I supposed to survive? Yeah, everything has gone up in price. Milk went up 25% 2 weeks before all this was announced. Everything's gone up. To get food, I've got to catch a taxi to the shopping centre because I can't walk or carry it back. Right? I cannot get around. I need the mobility allowance to do the taxi. And I've done everything required. And then you throw up more requirements. More. You manipulate the wording.
In that certificate,
I don't have to be currently enrolled. All I have to be doing is looking.
To a disability employment service?
No, I do not have to go to a disability employment service. Right? I am with NDIS. right?
You do know if you get the NDIS, you're ineligible for mobility allowance.
Why's that? What, they're going to buy me a car, are they? And take the government back to court when the registrar put a ticket straight from the dock straight to fines enforcement, so my licence is suspended?
The NDIS funds mobility packages, customers who are receiving a funded package.
How the hell would I know, and how the hell would anybody in Australia know, less than 10% of people are on the NDIS, because it's all just a big scam, to pay government mates big high-paying jobs that they don't do? Just like Centrelink. You get paid too much money to do nothing except for lie and cover up and just make it impossible for a disabled person to be able to cope in life. I have done nothing wrong. I filled out every requisite that you've needed, and now you demand more. So my claim couldn't have been rejected. It would say that you need to supply more documents. And I've been I've been checking my account every day for paperwork to say I need more documents. There's not. But then I get people ringing me up and saying this call may be recorded for quality or training purposes. And I say, yep, fine, cool, I'm recording too, because, yeah, I'm an honest person. I don't have to say anything that I'm recording or not, because your employers have already given me the authorisation to do that, and you have already signed a contract with them giving them authorisation to do that. So, I mean, I'm trying to be honest and do the right thing here, and you're just trying to screw people over. Thank you. Goodbye. Fuck you. I get pushed so far. I have to stop because last week I got pushed so far I walked 30 k's the other night, and this is why I can't get out of bed. Fuck me. This is the usual shit. Always. Right? They do it all the time. This is what they're trying to do. Right? First off, I have to be looking for work or education. I'm doing that. I've been doing it for months. Well, actually, I started back in January 2019 when I sent an email trying to get into the law class, but because I just had everything I owned stolen and kicked out of a mental institution, without seeing a doctor, without medication, without a GP to go to, after they held me for 3 weeks against the law at Christmas, what do you do, man? This is supposed to be Australia. Yeah. Everything I say, back it up with fucking evidence. These people, yeah, I didn't admit that I was recording, but I mean, if he didn't have the sense and the knowledge to know that I was recording, that's his stupid fault. I got permission 3 times, as you saw. Twice first time, and the next time I got permission. Right? That's contract law. Nothing they can do about it. Well, there is, but I'm not going to tell them how to fix it. Yeah? And trust me, the telecommunication ombudsman tried to take me on this, and he lost. So, the scary thing is, I mean, the police and everything are all so corrupt. You can stop crime by 30% with one paragraph of, stop about 30% of crime, right, with one paragraph of legislation that's already been drafted and is already in use in the second-hand dealer's licence, right? It's the one on stolen cameras, phones, Wi-Fi, computers, tablets, right? That's how the police know when it's stolen, because of the IME number. But guess who else gets the IME number? All the telecommunication companies, as soon as it hooks up. So what you do is you employ that one paragraph into the Telecommunications Act, and as soon as the phone's hooked up, or the computer, or the tablet, or the Wi-Fi camera, immediate photo recognition, voice, and GPS is given to the crime. How long before the crime stops? Well, would you still, if it was no good, you turn it on and you bust it. That's how smart your police force are. Oh, and that's how corrupt your politicians are, because it won't happen. I mean, geez, ASICs do not prosecute financial institutions. If I went into the bank and stole $1 4 times, I'd go to jail straight up, no charges. Straight up, be locked in jail. Right? They steal off me 4 times, break the law, break the legislation, blackmail me, terrorise me. 5 months by AFCA, reviewing it. Well, they get paid by the banks for them. And then ASICs, I tell ASICs about the case, and they say, we don't prosecute them. Well, who the fuck does? No one. Well, why do we have a Royal Commission then? Why do you waste hundreds of $1 million on a Royal Commission that doesn't mean shit? Same reason they don't on the redress. I mean, under section, I don't know the section, sorry, but it's 1917, powers of Royal Commissioner. Their powers on their word cannot be overturned. When the Royal Commissioner awarded $200,000, no one is allowed to overturn that, but some politician did. And then they paid them to some fucking lawyers who held $4 billion, which should have been more, 25% more, $5 billion. It should, and like 2 years they haven't paid people. And then when they do, they pay them like 1.1% interest. Anything I've ever had to do in finance is 6.5% interest. You go and get a credit card, it's 20% interest. What the fuck, man? These people are drawing wages, saying they're working.